Hello everybody, welcome back to the playthrough. We are on episode 35, and for the start of today's episode I have another question for y'all. So I was rewatching a couple of videos that I'd done recently last night, and the thing that really kind of stood out to me was my audio level. I try and turn the volume of the actual game down whilst I'm editing the footage and adding in like the voice clips and stuff like that. Because if I leave the game audio at standard volume, you can't really make out what I'm saying in sometimes, like in certain things, like if I'm in the middle of a fight, if I'm chopping trees down, pretty much if I'm doing anything really, it's difficult to hear what I'm saying. So I kind of reduce the volume of the actual game footage and the background noises, that kind of stuff. But then when I was watching these videos last night, my voice as well was still very quiet. Like I usually like try and listen to it on say like 100% volume. So I'm like, this is what it should sound like if someone's playing on their speakers without turning the volume down. And there were moments where I couldn't hear myself over certain actions I was doing. So I think there was a moment where I was cutting some trees down and I just couldn't hear myself when the trees are falling and when I was hitting the wood. So my question is, how is everybody who is currently following the playthrough and watching the episodes regularly enough, how has the volume for myself been over the past, say, 5 or 6 episodes? Just take a general opinion of what people think about my voice volume. Do you think I could do with being a bit louder? Do you think the whole video could do with being a bit louder? Because I could always not reduce the volume of the footage as much, and I could turn my own volume up a little bit to kind of counteract that so that the video's louder in general, but then it's still kind of keeping the same levels between the two so that you can still hear what I'm saying, but you can also hear what's going on in the game. So it's just a quick question for you all, just to kind of get like a general opinion of the community, just to see how you all feel about how my volume has been. Just because I was watching these 2 videos last night and it was just not good. I was just sat there listening to it. I had to go and re-edit both the videos I watched to increase my voice, because I was just like, I can barely hear myself. This is not good whatsoever. So yeah, just wanted to get a quick group opinion from everyone, see how you all feel about it. Okay, in today's episode we've popped back over to the merchant. We do need to put a wall around the portal that's next to the merchant. I don't want any Black Forest monsters coming up and knocking it down, so that's one of the first things we want to do today. We have bought our items from the merchant, our starter items, the fishing rod, some bait, and we also bought the belt, the Megingjord's girdle. Again, I'm not sure if that's how you're supposed to pronounce it. I do apologise for anyone with any kind of Nordic background or interest. If I'm pronouncing it incorrectly, I do apologise. We are probably going to explore this swamp biome to the north of the merchant as well. I do want to have a bit of a deeper look into it, just to kind of see what there is in there. I don't expect it to be massive because it is attached to a big Black Forest island, but I don't know, it's always kind of worth just having a quick look anyway. I've just placed a marker down by my boat. I'm leaving my boat here for now because I think, depending on what this swamp biome is like, I could be completely wrong, and this swamp biome could be massive and it could have everything we need in it, and we might not even need to go anywhere else. Or it could just be tiny and doesn't have anything that we need in it other than a few little bits. So I'm just leaving my boat here so that we can sail off and go exploring later on if we need to. We are going to need some wood to build this little camp around our portal, so I'm just going to start off by cutting down some bushes and some trees, getting some logs. Just we need some for that base or for those walls that we're going to build. Aha, there's a blob. I thought I could hear a blob. I think because the swamp and the Black Forest border each other, the creatures from each biome are fighting each other. That's one thing you will notice, is that creatures from opposing biomes aren't friendly with each other. They will attack each other. So obviously the Grey Dwarfs are attacking the Draugr and the blobs and stuff like that. Although I'm thinking now that we're probably going to get the attention of that blob considering we did shoot an arrow at it. This grey dwarf, get away from the portal, you little bugger. Oh, so he just turns around and hits it. Nice. There's the blob here, and they're fighting each other. Oh, wow. He's poisoned the grey dwarf. Look at how much that's hitting. And he's dead. Nice. Okay, got his attention. Let's see if we can take him out before he poisons us. There we go. Grab another one of the oozes that he drops. Again, there's nothing really special about this little walled-off area that I'm creating for the portal. It's just going to be a kind of rudimentary walled-off area, crafting table, probably a chest as well for any materials that we gather that we can't take through the portal. I try and do that with most bases, especially if I know I'm going to be coming back and forth with materials. Just so that when you say if you're trying to get back through the portal quickly, if you're being attacked or chased or something like that, and you won't need to get back through the portal quick, then at least you've got somewhere you can quickly dump the items that you can't carry through the portal, and it saves you having to just drop them on the floor. Kind of like using these trees as pillars as well. I don't really fancy cutting them down. Don't really need any core wood right now, although this one section of wall is there. Oh, there we go. We've got it in. Can we get one just in there? Perfect. Look at that. There we go. That walled off area is complete. Now we can head back. There's a little portal area. So I'll quickly stick a chest down here. Dump the portal materials in there. Don't need this third portal as of yet, considering we haven't actually found a swamp biome to place this portal down. So like I was saying, we will need this portal for the swamp, but we also need to go and find a decent swamp biome to place it in. So it's not hugely important to have it up right now. We're just going to take it down and leave it in that chest for now. The bees are full, so we're just going to quickly empty the beehives. Aha! Looks like our carrots are done as well. Very nice. There's our 3 carrots, and we'll pick up all of our carrot seeds. If I remember correctly from our previous episode, we should have 51 of these. Should have. See if I can remember to count correctly. No, 54. Even better. Grab the cultivator and let's get planting. I must have miscounted my carrots from our previous harvest. We must have picked up 18 and I just didn't realise. And that's the distance. If you can look at the distance that I'm leaving between each of the carrots, kind of like a grid that I'm setting them out in. A little bit too close to each other, I would say, but the carrots aren't massive, so it should be alright with them being this close to each other. But yeah, this is roughly like the grid distance that I use in terms of planting fruit and veg. When it comes to planting them like this, that they should have enough room to grow. I don't know, some of them are looking a little bit too close to each other though. I will say whilst we're planting all these, they look a little bit too close. Alright, let's replant these 3 carrots into seed carrots, or seed plants. Guess get even more seeds. doing it in your garden is a much quicker and easier way of getting a decent amount of seeds rather than having to continually go back and forth to the Black Forest. If you do, you can do the same thing with the raspberry bushes that I've done so far. Like if I find a group of 4 or 5 of them, I usually put a marker on the map so I can go back to them in future. I believe you can do the same with carrot seed plants. So if you come across, say, 2 or 3 carrot seed plants in the Black Forest somewhere, you could put a marker down for them. I'm pretty sure they regrow the same way that pretty much everything else does, but I could be wrong about that. I know that mushrooms regrow. I know that both the blueberry and the raspberry bushes regrow, so it would make sense that the carrots would regrow as well, and the things like dandelions and thistles. But it's not something I've ever tested, because obviously with like planting carrots and planting fruit and veg, you obviously don't need to worry about going out and gathering more seeds, because you can just recreate them or make more of them from your base. So a quick repair up. Forgot to put the cultivator back in the chest. Should probably go and do that. Oh, we didn't even pick up our shield either. That would have been a bit of a mistake if we'd come back and not had our shield. Still have all 6 of our health potions as well. Although I believe in hitting the swamp we have unlocked the next level of healing potion, so we'll have to make some of those as well. Standard healing potion, the first one you can make, gives you 50 health. I believe the medium healing potion gives you 75. There is a larger healing potion as well, but that doesn't come till much later in the game, I don't think. Oh god, here we are. We're gonna struggle getting out of here, I think. Yeah, we can't climb the wall. This is awkward. We're going to have to knock a part down. There we go. I think we'll be alright like that. There doesn't seem to be much in terms of wandering creatures. I think building it right next to the merchant as well is quite beneficial, because a lot of creatures will stay away from the merchant's like bubble zone. Usually if they're chasing you and you run into that bubble, they will run away again, so I think we should be okay. Oh, hello, there's a Draugr right there. There's 2 of them right there, actually. And skeletons, oh god. There's a blob off in the distance. That's a 1-star Draugr. Fortunately enough, parrying him seems to be very effective. Duck behind this wall so the skeleton can stop shooting us. Need to equip our mace for this blob. Oh, we just avoided that. One thing I probably should have mentioned is that I have given you plenty of warnings about the amount of times you can be poisoned in the swamp. But if you've fought these creatures before, if you've encountered them before, you can avoid a lot of the times that you get poisoned. The blobs, as soon as you see them it looks like they kind of breathe in, kind of swell up a bit, and then they kind of squash down and exhale that big green gas cloud around them. You can just step backwards when they do that. When you see them kind of inhale, you can just kind of step back, and you will avoid that attack. There are larger versions of the blobs, which is kind of like multiple blobs into one. Their attack range is a lot larger, so you want to be very careful with those. And then again, with the mace, if you attack quick enough, you can take them out before they even have a chance to attack, so you can avoid that. And then with the leeches as well, the leeches can't leave the water, so if you're clever enough, if you can find a decent enough angle and a decent position to stand in, you can kill leeches without ever being hit by them. But it's just one of those situations that I'd just rather have the same principle as a condom. I'd rather have it and not need it than need it and not have it. That's the poison resist potion. Especially when we discover the next level of dungeons that we're going to need to clear out. They are very important when it comes to the swamp. So we're going to be in there quite a lot, and there can be quite a lot of creatures in there as well. So I just prefer having the poison resist, so that even if I do get hit by a blob and I get poisoned, it's nothing I need to worry about. If you're on, say, quite low health, say anywhere between like 50 to 70 health, and you get hit by a poison attack, it can be deadly. It does hit quite hard, and it does last for a good amount of time, so yeah, I'd rather just have the poison resist rather than trying to trust my dodging instincts. As we've seen so far, I haven't been very effective at not dying to both trolls and a wolf. So it's not great. I would imagine I'm probably going to die in the swamp at some point as well. There are 2-star Draugr archers that hit like absolute trucks. They are ridiculous in the amount of damage they do. I always die to them. In every single playthrough I've ever done, I'm pretty certain I've died to a 2-star archer Draugr at some point, because they're just so dangerous and they hit so hard. Fingers crossed that we don't, but it might happen. I suppose it depends if we ever come across a 2-star Draugr. We might get lucky enough and never actually see one spawn, which would be quite nice. Looking at the mini-map, I think I was correct in my judgment that this biome was going to be quite small. It's not the end of the world, so I was kind of hoping to be a bit bigger than it was, but there might be a little bit more of it to the north. But there's no dungeons. Doesn't even seem to be any of the bigger monsters in here as well, so it's okay for an initial foray. And if we ever need to come back and farm some of the creatures, so like the leeches for the blood bags or the blobs for the oozes, we could just come back here rather than having to sail anywhere else. But it doesn't have any of the important stuff that we need. Even with the parry bonus, it does take 3 swings with a mace to take them down. There's another reason why I prefer the sword. The sword is a much more effective tool at taking down the... Oh my lord, that's a 2-star skeleton. We still hit him twice and killed him. You can still parry the archers. Yeah, sorry, I much prefer the sword for taking on Draugr just because it attacks quicker and hits quite hard. Ow. Oh, we've been poisoned by a leech. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. This is bad. Look at my health bar. 7 seconds. Oh, we have a potion. Okay, we're okay. Thank the Lord we had those potions. Wow. That could have been a death. That was very close. And as if proving my point about why I would rather have the poison resist rather than not bringing it and trusting my instincts, I got hit by a leech there because I couldn't see him, and we were in combat with other creatures. We didn't realise that we were stood in water deep enough for the leech to come and hit us. Oh god, he's hit me again. Oh no. I think our health bar should be alright, but we are going to pop a poison resist potion just while we're here. Just to be sure, I don't want to run any risks. Lasts for 10 minutes. But one thing you need to be aware of is that if you have been poisoned and then you take a poison resist potion, that resist potion won't help you with the poison that you're already affected by. You will still have to take the full damage and the full duration of it. It's always better to take the potion before you start taking hits, so that it's not a retroactive potion. It doesn't affect any of the poison you've been hit by before you take it. That's one thing you need to be aware of with them. Oh, go away, Mr. Skeleton. There we go. I hope we find some of the... Oh, yes, literally, as I'm about to say it, right in front of me. There we go. This is the next plant, the next vegetable that we're getting from the swamp. It's the turnip. So we just found 2 turnip seed plants, which gave us 3 seeds each. And the turnips work the same way as carrots. You plant 1 seed to get 1 turnip, and then you can replant that turnip to get a seed plant, which gives you 3 seeds. And they grow at the same rate as well, so that's our next vegetable. Hopefully we'll get some more recipes once we've grown a few of them. This looks very ominous. Oh, it's another runestone. Right, okie dokie. I'm pretty sure we've already seen this runestone. I think this is the one we saw when we first entered the swamp. Can't remember. The thing about runestones is that the majority of the ones you'll find will all be in the meadows, and then after that, in every other biome, there's only a couple more. And yeah, they don't really tell you that much about the game. They give you a little bit of backstory and stuff like that, and they give you a little bit of, kind of, not an explanation, but like a little bit of backstory, essentially, a little bit of the lore behind the land, but it doesn't really give you that much. But I will try and keep on with the runestones when we find them, at least have them pop up a little bit, so that people can read them. Okay, so we're going to continue cutting down these ancient trees. As I mentioned in our previous episode, we are wanting as much ancient bark as we can get currently so that we can make the next level of boat. But we will also need to pay a visit to the next level of dungeon, the swamp dungeons. We needed the swamp key for that. So the swamp key is the other drop that you get from the elder along with his head. So once you've killed the elder, the boss fight, and then you'll get a swamp key from him. You need that in order to get into these dungeons, and you need that in order to progress through the swamp. You can't really progress through the swamp after that without having the swamp key. So yeah, if you've lost it or you didn't get one from your first elder fight, I'd highly recommend doing it again. Bit of a pain, I know, but you will need it. Pretty much every drop you get from the boss is needed. The boss powers, you can kind of pick and choose and change between them whenever, at free will, and, get whichever one you need for whatever it is that you're doing. But the actual items that the bosses drop, so Eikthyr with her horn so that you could make the pickaxe, and then the elder dropped the swamp key so that we can get into these swamp dungeons. We haven't found any of the dungeons yet. They are quite easily noticeable. You can quite easily spot them from the coast as well if you're sailing past. But you do have to find some of them in order to actually progress through the swamp. Okay, just take out these grey dwarfs, probably take out this spawner as well. Oh god, there's a patrol coming. I thought there might be. Yep, there comes the comes the shaman with his fart spray. Right, I'm going to take out the spawner first. I'm surprised it's not weak to blunt damage actually from the mace, the spawner, but oh well. Maybe the axe is more useful because it's a wooden structure. There we go. He's farting at us again. Right, take the sword and stab these guys. Nope, no healing for you, thank you. Yeah, perfect. Sorted for all of them. Right, what can we drop? What don't we need? Buke berries, I don't need those. Right, let's explore a little... Let's explore a little bit further north. I was really hoping that in today's episode I would have my ability to speak properly back, but apparently not. At least I'm not making the mistake of mixing up the first letter of two words constantly, because I used to do that a lot when I was a young lad, so I'm glad I don't keep doing that. Skelebro. Oh, there's two skeletons. That means there must be a dungeon, burial chamber. Oh yeah, literally right there, burial chamber. Oh, Grey Dwarfs are here. Right, if I run away, maybe these Grey Dwarfs will start fighting. Yeah, there we go. I love that you can just start a fight between them all by just running away from them. Tell you what, whilst we're here, might as well pop into the burial chamber, give it a quick run through. We've got decent level armor. And we've got a good weapon for this, so we'll crack on with taking these boys down. So you got a couple of strikes and the skeleton is dead. I have briefly mentioned this before, but I will go through it quickly again now. So one thing you might have noticed when we're in a crypt, it takes us longer to kill stuff when we're in a crypt. Now, the reason for this is because the types of attacks that you're doing. So the basic attack with most of your weapons is kind of this sideward swing from kind of right to left or left to right, something like that. But because we're in these very small, cramped hallways, when we're doing that wide swing, the game is technically considering us hitting multiple things at once rather than just the one creature that's in front of us. Technically, it considers the fact that we're hitting the wall on the right and the left side. And what the game does is that when you're hitting multiple things, it splits the damage that you would do to the one, and it splits them between those three. So that's the reason why when we attack skeletons in here sometimes, even when we parry them, it still takes a few swings to take them down. It's because we're hitting the walls and the doorways and stuff like that as well. There are a couple of weapons that have strong attacks that are kind of like forward thrust attacks and forward swings and stuff like that. We could use those, but they do use a lot more stamina. They do a lot more damage as well, but they also take a lot more time to get through, like to do that attack animation. So I just kind of stick with the basic attack. Like even with the bonus damage we're getting from this bronze mace, we're still not taking the skeletons down that quickly. Although we did the final swing on the on spawn, just then it took it down in one shot because there was nothing else in that room for us to hit. So yeah, that is how the game works. It's the same way. It's the same with, you might have noticed it when we were hitting the copper nodes. If we were just hitting one part of the copper node and we had one damage number popping up, it was a bigger number than if we were hitting multiple nodes and having multiple numbers pop up. Because again, it's taking the damage that you would be doing to one piece and then splitting it between all the pieces that you're hitting. That was a pretty decent room of Surtling cores just then. Quite happy with that. Oh, this is a winding little maze area. Jeez. This looks like some kind of burial chamber. Anything down here? Oh, another doorway. Let's quickly check over here. It's just a chest. Don't really need either of those. We could probably take the feathers to make some more arrows with, but as you can probably tell throughout most of the playthrough, I don't really use the bow that much. I do use it, but not to the point where I'd need to make arrows constantly. So I think with the amount of feathers we've got currently, we should be okay. We are going to need them a bit later on in the game because there's a certain type of arrow that I really like using. Okay, I think that's this burial chamber completed. Nope, hello, are you boys still fighting out here? Yes, you are. Okay, there's the crypt marker, and we've marked it as complete. There we go. That looks like an awkward fight. Let's just kill you. Skeleton is trying to shoot the shaman, but the skeleton can't shoot high enough. It's just shooting the floor, and then the shaman is trying to poison spray the skeleton, but the poison spray is shooting over its head. So it's pretty much just a never-ending ranged battle for the two of them. Okay, mark the crypt as complete. Have we got the red X? Yes, we do. Perfect. Alright. We should probably start heading back soon. It is night time. We should probably go and sleep through the night at some point. And we are... I don't know, we're getting pretty close to the end of this episode. Might give it a few more minutes. We need to pop back and do a couple of things. Oh dear lord, that's a lot of grey dwarfs all at once. Jesus, that was like 5 or 6 in one go there. That was mad. I also tried to pick up some blueberries and realised that our inventory was full, so I just left it. Sadly, didn't really want to spend the time sat on the ground trying to mess around, trying to pick stuff up and drop things. Although we're going to do that now with these carrot seeds. Grey dwarf eyes, just get rid of those. We need them, but don't necessarily need them. Once I'm here, might as well mark this crypt. Ow. Ouch, please stop hitting me. Probably shouldn't have taken my armor off to run faster, but we should be okay. Oh, there's a troll right there. Wow. Okay, let's take a wide berth around him. Oh, another crypt. Mark this one. These are perfect. All right next to our portal as well. Fantastic. Definitely can come back here in future when we need more Surtling cores and hopefully avoid that troll. There we go. Back to the portal. Can we make it over here? Nope. About up here. We're going to be able to make it over. I'll just use the gate instead. Why use the gate when you can jump over the fence? And pop back. Okay, probably gonna just dump our inventory, sleep through the night, although it looks like it's pretty much daytime already, so might not have enough time to sleep. Do you know what? I'm actually going to remove these 2 walls that we built into the floor here, because they are getting on my nerves. Having to sprint or jump over them every time we walk through these doors. Just getting irritating, so just remove those. Perfect. Okay. Just going to go through pretty much every chest, use the quick stack button to dump everything. You can organise things later on. Probably have a look at our seeds and plants and stuff again. I think they're pretty much going to be ready, or like done soon anyway. Okay. Probably going to end the session very soon. Won't be very long. So I thank everybody for watching this one. Hope you've all enjoyed it. It's been an interesting episode. We've explored a bit more of that swamp and found a few more things. Also got a bit more ancient wood as well for our boat. And yeah, we've got a plan going forward. We need to start exploring a bit more to find another another swamp biome. But yeah, thank you all for watching. Hope you've enjoyed this one, and I shall catch you in the next episode.